people have now been arrested in the murder of a teacher and single mother who was killed in front of her young son.
All right, the facts of this case and how these two defendants conspired and planned for nearly 2 months to kill Rachel King is truly disturbing.
Wanted to be able to hate the defendants, and in seeing them, I don't hate them. However, justice will prevail.
Rachel King, a 35-year-old Philadelphia school teacher. On April 11, 2023, while waiting in a Dunkin' drive-thru in Cheltenham Township, Pennsylvania, with her 11-year-old son Jalen in the back seat, she had planned to grab breakfast before taking her son to his violin lesson. But in an instant, their peaceful routine turned into a horrifying nightmare. Out of nowhere, a man approached their car and without hesitation opened fire. Rachel was shot multiple times as Jalen sat helplessly in the back seat, witnessing the unthinkable. He could do nothing but watch as his mother's life slipped away right before his eyes. By the time first responders arrived at the scene, it was too late. Rachel King, a 34-year-old devoted mother and beloved teacher, had been brutally murdered in broad daylight. The investigation revealed that Julie Jean, who had previously been involved in an affair with King's longtime boyfriend, orchestrated the murder due to jealousy. She enlisted the help of Zaki Stephen Al-Hakim, a cousin of the father of her children, to carry out the shooting. The two meticulously planned the ambush over several weeks, even purchasing a vehicle used in the crime. Cell phone records and financial transactions between Jean and Al-Hakim provided critical evidence linking them to the murder. Before we begin the story, we want to take a moment to extend our heartfelt condolences to the friends, family, and loved ones of Rachel King. This devastating loss has left an irreplaceable void in the lives of those who knew and cherished her. This story will be taking us to Philadelphia, a city known for its bustling streets, rich history, and strong community spirit. But like any major city, it also has a darker side, one where crime can shatter lives in an instant. Rachel's murder was not just another statistic. It was a devastating loss that left her family, students, and loved ones reeling. Rachel King was more than just a teacher. She was a passionate educator, a loving mother, and a woman with big dreams. She worked at Grover Cleveland Elementary School, where her students adored her. She aspired to one day become a principal and even dreamed of launching her own curriculum consulting business to help other educators. But above all else, Rachel's greatest joy in life was her son Jalen. She was deeply involved in his life, from school drop-offs to violin lessons, always there to support and guide him. She also shared a long-term relationship with William Hayes, the man she loved. However, beneath the surface of their seemingly happy life lay a painful secret, one that would ultimately lead to tragedy. William had been unfaithful, engaging in an affair with a woman named Julie Jean. When Rachel discovered the betrayal, she was heartbroken. The revelation rocked their relationship, but despite the pain, Rachel and William decided to rebuild their life together. Julie Jean, however, refused to let go. She was not ready to move on, and she made sure Rachel knew it. Relentless calls, messages, and an obsessive presence in their lives made it clear that Julie wasn't going to disappear quietly. What had started as a love triangle soon morphed into something far more sinister, a toxic web of jealousy and revenge. By the way, we post true crime stories and strange cases. If this interests you, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support means a lot and helps us continue sharing this content. Rachel tried to move forward, but Jean's obsession only grew stronger. And as tensions escalated, what began as an emotional feud would soon take a deadly turn. Julie Jean wasn't just heartbroken, she was consumed by rage. She couldn't stand that William chose Rachel over her, and as he moved on, her desperation turned to obsession. What began as emotional pleas soon escalated into threats, leaving Rachel in constant fear. In December 2022, William filed a protection from abuse (PFA) order against Julie, hoping to end the harassment. But instead of backing off, she became fixated on revenge. Determined to eliminate Rachel, she turned to Zaki Al-Hakim, a man struggling with homelessness and easy to manipulate. She paid him $900 to stalk Rachel, then asked him to kill her. Their talks of anger and resentment turned into a carefully planned murder. They met in person, tracked Rachel's routine, and plotted every detail. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was cold, calculated, and deliberate. Al-Hakim became Julie's eyes and ears, shadowing Rachel at every turn and reporting back with updates. To ensure nothing went wrong, they needed a vehicle that would blend in, something unremarkable, something that wouldn't draw attention. In late March 2023 they found it. Julie purchased a used Mercury Sable from a dealership in Philadelphia for $1,500. It was old, inconspicuous, and perfect for their plan. With this vehicle, Al-Hakim could follow Rachel without raising suspicion, a predator hidden in plain sight. He tracked her every step, when she went to work, when she dropped off her son, even when she took him to violin lessons. It didn't take long for them to realize that Rachel's routine was predictable, making her an easy target. On the morning of April 11, 2023, Rachel King started her day like any other. She had a routine: get her son, Jalen, ready, grab some breakfast, and take him to his violin lesson before heading to work. It was supposed to be a simple errand, just a quick stop at Dunkin' Donuts before continuing with the day. But what she didn't know was that danger was already lurking nearby, watching and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. At around 7:30 a.m., Rachel pulled into the drive-thru at the Melrose Shopping Center in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania, with Jalen seated in the back. At that very moment, Zaki Al-Hakim, the man who had been tracking her for weeks, was already positioned nearby. He had been waiting for this opportunity. Leaving his vehicle, he moved with deadly intent toward Rachel's SUV. Rachel sat in her car, likely chatting with her son, unaware of the horror about to unfold. Al-Hakim approached, pulled out a gun, and fired. The gunshots shattered the quiet morning, hitting Rachel multiple times. Jalen in the back seat was stunned. His mother, his protector, was suddenly slumped over, covered in blood. Fear and confusion overwhelmed him. His childhood innocence was stolen in an instant. Al-Hakim fled, but witnesses quickly called 911. Paramedics arrived, but it was too late. Rachel was pronounced dead at the scene, her car now a crime scene.
I'm Sheba Russell. The mother and teacher was gunned down in front of her son.
Investigators have identified that victim as 35-year-old Rachel King of Elkins Park. They say she was waiting in line at this Dunkin' drive-thru along with her 11-year-old son when she was shot and killed. And this morning we're learning she was not only a mom, she was also a teacher too, who was beloved by her students and will certainly be missed by many people.
Detectives launched an urgent investigation, and surveillance footage revealed everything: Al-Hakim's approach, the shooting, and his escape. Phone records exposed 787 deleted messages between Jean and Al-Hakim, proving their months-long plan. The silver Mercury Sable used in the crime had been purchased in Jean's name. When questioned, Al-Hakim claimed a friend named Tizich had borrowed his car, but his alibi fell apart. The same vehicle was linked to another murder just days earlier. Forensic tests matched shell casings from Rachel's murder to a ghost gun found in Al-Hakim's phone photos. With overwhelming evidence, Jean and Al-Hakim were charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy.
Police call it a cold-blooded killing. 2 people have now been arrested in the murder of a teacher and single mother who was killed in front of her young son.
Guilty verdict tonight for a Montgomery County woman and the man she hired to kill a Philadelphia teacher at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru last year. That teacher gunned down in front of her young son.
The case shocked the community. Rachel's family, especially young Jalen, was left devastated, clutching a photo of his mother, struggling to process a loss that changed his world forever. As the trial began, prosecutors painted a chilling picture of obsession, jealousy, and calculated murder. They presented damning evidence, including recovered messages and surveillance footage showing Al-Hakim walking up to Rachel's car and opening fire. The courtroom was left in silence as emotional testimonies described Rachel's kindness and the immense void her loss had left behind. During the trial, loved ones spoke of Rachel's strength and kindness.
Our hearts are hurting, but we also believe this: in time, they will be healed and we will move forward with our grandson, Jalen.
We are grateful and confident in the DA's office, in the job that they've done so far this morning. I wanted to be able to hate the defendants. And in seeing them, I don't hate them. However, justice will prevail.
The defense argued there wasn't enough evidence, but the prosecution's case was overwhelming. Phone records, vehicle identification, and witness testimony left no doubt. Jean and Al-Hakim had planned Rachel's murder. After just 52 minutes of deliberation, the jury found both guilty of first-degree murder. While Rachel's family and community still mourned, they found solace in knowing justice was served. Jean and Al-Hakim were sentenced to life in prison. In Rachel's memory, friends, family, and former students gathered to honor her life with candles, flowers, and heartfelt messages. Meanwhile, Jalen faced a long road to healing. With the love of his family and the help of therapy, he slowly began processing his trauma, finding the strength to move forward. On January 17, 2025, Leticia Walton was in her apartment, relaxing and winding down from the day, when she suddenly realized someone had broken into her home. What followed was a brutal attack. Leticia was stabbed 37 times and shot twice, once directly in the face. It seemed like the end of the road for her, but what unfolded turned into an unbelievable story of survival. According to a report, police responded to a call at an apartment complex around 2 p.m., where they discovered Leticia Walton had been stabbed 37 times and shot twice, including once in the face. A suspect has been apprehended and appeared in Recorder's Court in connection with this case.
Today, the suspect in the shooting and stabbing case, which left a woman injured at Sugar Mill Apartments, made his first court appearance. 50-year-old Felito Daniel appeared before Recorder's Court Judge David Ranieri. Daniel is charged with aggravated assault and other crimes. Police were called to a unit at Sugar Mill Apartments off Schaumburg Road on the afternoon of January 17th, where they found Leticia Walton stabbed 37 times and shot twice, once in the face and once in the shoulder.
Against all odds, Leticia managed to survive the horrific assault. Not only did she live, but she also had the strength to tell the police exactly who her attacker was. Her courage led to the arrest of someone she had once believed loved her, a betrayal that added another layer of heartbreak to an already devastating crime. This story is nothing short of a miracle. But the question remains, why did this happen to such a beautiful soul? And who was truly behind it? Let's find out. This story will take us to Columbus, Georgia, a city known for its rich history and vibrant culture. As the second most populous city in Georgia after Atlanta, Columbus boasts the state's fourth largest metropolitan area. The city blends an artsy, energetic vibe with deep historical roots and a thriving food scene. It's also a haven for outdoor enthusiasts. However, beneath its lively charm, Columbus faces a troubling reality. The crime rate here is 28.3% higher than the national average. The odds of becoming a victim of violent crime in Columbus are 1 in 162, while property crime affects 1 in 39 people. This is a city of contrasts, where beauty and danger exist side by side. Let's dive deeper into Leticia Walton's story, uncover the motives behind this senseless act, and find out who was responsible for nearly ending her life.
Hey, what's good, y'all? I know a lot of y'all been asking about my mom. I do have an update. I have a great update. They took her off the ventilator today. So she is 100% breathing on her own again. She's in good spirits. She's recovering.
Leticia Walton, age 48, was a beautiful woman who had her life going in the right direction. She embraced life with ease, always wearing a radiant smile that reflected her positive spirit. Leticia found joy in the simple things, always making an effort to keep herself happy. She had a deep love for everyone around her, especially her friends and family, and her warmth was contagious. Confident and self-assured, Leticia carried herself with grace and pride. She was passionate about fitness, dedicating time to the gym to improve herself both physically and mentally. Her health and well-being were important to her, and she took her fitness journey very seriously, treating her body with the utmost care and respect.
I discuss pertains to me, but if it did, I'm not ashamed. So what? It's life. But it's a combination of people that I've spoken to over the years.
But Leticia's life wasn't just about hard work and self-improvement. She knew how to enjoy herself too. She loved traveling, exploring beautiful places, and making the most of her free time, just like anyone who works hard and deserves to unwind. Leticia also had a presence on social media, where she shared snippets of her life. Whether it was showing off some dance moves, posting funny moments from her day, or sharing reflections, she connected with her followers in authentic and relatable ways. By the way, we post true crime stories and strange cases. If this interests you, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support means a lot and helps us continue sharing this content. One of Leticia's passions was discussing relationships. She used her platform to offer advice and empower her followers, especially when it came to navigating toxic situations. In her own small way, she tried to inspire others to recognize their worth and seek healthier connections. Ironically and heartbreakingly, Leticia never imagined she'd become a victim of the very issues she warned others about. As a devoted mother, Leticia cherished her children and maintained a close bond with them. Her son, who has a notable following on social media, shared a special connection with her. Family was at the heart of her world, and her love for her kids was undeniable. Leticia was also in a relationship with Phileto Daniel, a 50-year-old man who was once believed to be her perfect match. To the outside world, they seemed like a happy couple, until Phileto's actions told a very different story. Despite Leticia's love and care for him, what appeared to be a picture-perfect relationship hid dark truths beneath the surface. At one point, Leticia Walton and Phileto Daniel seemed like a couple in love. Leticia even posted a heartfelt birthday message for him, captioned, "Happy birthday to this special man. Wishing you one of the best ones yet." However, by the time she shared that post, their relationship had already ended. Despite the breakup, Daniel refused to accept it. Whatever issues may have existed between them, nothing could have justified the horrifying events that unfolded on January 17, 2025. That day, while Leticia was at home, relaxing in what should have been the safety of her own space, Daniel broke into her apartment for reasons still unclear. What happened next was unimaginable. Daniel viciously attacked her, stabbing Leticia 37 times and shooting her twice in the face. The Columbus Police Department responded to an emergency call from the Sugar Mill Apartments. When officers arrived, they were met with a gruesome scene. Leticia was found critically injured, with multiple stab wounds and gunshot wounds to her face. However, there was another disturbing discovery. Phileto Daniel was also at the scene, found with zip ties wrapped around his neck, and evidence suggested he had ingested antifreeze. At first, investigators were puzzled. Could Daniel have been attacked as well? Was there a struggle where both parties were injured? But as they dug deeper, it became clear that Daniel's injuries were self-inflicted. Surveillance footage and receipts confirmed he had purchased the items he used earlier that same day, indicating premeditation. Miraculously, Leticia survived the brutal attack. She was rushed to the hospital, where she underwent emergency treatment and began the long road to recovery. Despite the severity of her injuries, she's currently healing and showing remarkable resilience. Police confirmed that Leticia did not inflict any harm on Daniel. From the moment he entered her apartment, she was fighting for her life, trying to survive an unprovoked and calculated assault. After learning about the incident, Leticia's son took to social media, posting several emotional videos expressing his shock, heartbreak, and support for his mother.
Now, this ain't something that I was going to bring to TikTok, but everybody kind of know about it already. And my mama been on my page a few times. A lot of y'all know my mama. A lot of y'all follow my mama on here. A lot of y'all follow my mama and don't even know that it's my mama.
As news of Leticia Walton's harrowing ordeal spread, many people sought more information about the situation. Her son stepped up, providing detailed updates step by step to keep everyone informed about his mother's condition and the legal proceedings that followed.
37 times. She is making progress, okay? I seen my mama smile for the first time yesterday. She been talking. She's making progress. If y'all want to donate anything, don't send it to my Cash App. Send it to the GoFundMe. It's in my bio. This is the GoFundMe. Don't get scammed, y'all. This is the GoFundMe. It's in my bio.
After a thorough investigation, authorities determined that Phileto Daniel had deliberately harmed himself after brutally attacking Leticia Walton. His self-inflicted injuries were likely an attempt to mislead investigators or evade accountability. As a result, he was formally charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Leticia Walton had ended her relationship with Phileto Daniel in February 2024, taking back the keys to her apartment. This action indicated that she had likely set clear boundaries and no longer wanted him to have access to her home. However, Daniel refused to accept the breakup. On the day of the attack, multiple witnesses reported seeing Daniel behaving strangely around Leticia's apartment complex. He was carrying a bottle of antifreeze, which later turned out to be part of his disturbing plan. His erratic behavior should have been a red flag, but no one could have predicted the horrifying violence that was about to unfold. In a terrifying turn of events, Daniel forced his way into Leticia's apartment, attacking her in what can only be described as a brutal, calculated assault. He stabbed her 37 times and shot her twice in the face, leaving her for dead. But Leticia refused to give up. In an incredible act of survival, she had the presence of mind to pretend to be dead, a move that likely saved her life. Once Daniel believed she was no longer a threat, Leticia managed to lock herself inside her apartment and call 911. The fact that she was able to do this despite her devastating injuries is nothing short of miraculous. As police delved deeper into the case, more chilling details came to light. Investigators discovered that Daniel had made several alarming purchases just hours before the attack, including a chef's knife and antifreeze, indicating that he had been planning something sinister in advance. Adding to the disturbing nature of the crime, the gun Daniel used in the attack, a .22 caliber revolver, had actually been reported stolen in Texas.
Outside, they found Daniel, Walton's on-and-off partner of 6 years, covered in antifreeze and with zip ties around his neck, which police say he placed on himself. Police also found Daniel had purchased a chef's knife and antifreeze hours before the incident.
This raised further questions about his actions leading up to that day and whether he had additional criminal intent beyond targeting Letitia. Letitia's sister, Tyka Ferguson, spoke out about the horror of that day, saying, "It truly feels like a scene from a horror movie." Her words captured the unimaginable trauma their family had endured, learning that Letitia had barely survived such a vicious attack at the hands of someone she had once trusted. When Daniel appeared in court for the first time, emotions ran high. Letitia's family members were in attendance, determined to see justice served. They expressed their pain, frustration, and deep grief, demanding that Daniel be held fully accountable for his actions. Despite everything, Letitia survived, a testament to her incredible will to live. However, the road to recovery is long, both physically and emotionally. Her story serves as both a warning about the dangers of domestic violence and a powerful example of resilience in the face of unimaginable horror.
It's truly been a nightmare from the moment that I received a call from my nephew, screaming, saying that my sister had been stabbed and shot.
Letitia Walton's sister, Tyka Ferguson, also shared the deep pain and trauma her family has been enduring since the attack. She said, "It's truly been a nightmare from the moment I received a call from my nephew, screaming that my sister had been stabbed and shot at. I genuinely didn't know if my sister was alive or not. That uncertainty was unbearable." Tyka went on to express how this senseless act of violence has impacted their entire family. "Everybody in the family is suffering because of this, but most importantly, Letitia is clearly suffering the most." In a powerful statement, Tyka revealed that Letitia had asked her to make one thing clear. Philedo Daniel is not the only person responsible for what happened. Letitia wanted it known that Daniel's family also played a role by enabling his behavior. This added layer of accountability highlights the complex dynamics surrounding the case and the deep wounds left not just by the violence, but also by the people who may have turned a blind eye. In the wake of the tragedy, Letitia's family created a GoFundMe page to support her recovery journey, inviting anyone willing to help contribute. Her son later posted an emotional video sharing that Letitia had been moved out of the ICU, a hopeful sign, but she still faces multiple surgeries ahead. Despite the long road to recovery, her progress has been nothing short of miraculous. Our hearts and prayers go out to Letitia Walton, her family, and her friends during this difficult time. We wish her a full and speedy recovery. It's truly incredible to see her strength and determination to fight through such unimaginable trauma. But this story also raises a haunting question. What could drive someone who once claimed to love her to commit such a brutal act? There is no justification for this kind of violence, none whatsoever. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As the case moves forward, we hope that justice will be served and that Daniel is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Once again, we send our best wishes to Miss Walton and her family. Please subscribe to the channel to stay updated about the future upload. Thank you for watching another video of Truth and Crimes. Share your thoughts about this heartbreaking case in the comments below. We value your input. We dedicate ourselves to delivering accurate and compelling true crime stories using information from reliable sources. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon with another captivating story.